weird. Like the other day I was talking about the best honey I ever had I bought from an Amish store. And then like as soon as I opened Facebook, I had 50 ads for Amish honey. It seems like the robots are listening. Now look, I've had a social security number my whole life. But now there's an island in the Caribbean that's going to track my every movement. It's creepy. In today's episode of the Lido Loca Cruise Show, let's go south to the Caribbean and we'll see how they're going to track you. And we'll take a look at the cruise news. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Tony. If you enjoyed that cruise and travel content, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Let me tell you, today's top story is kind of like out of a sci-fi movie. I don't really even know what to say. I know I'm constantly complaining about the robots. Half of that is in jest, but it's getting real. But before we get to that, let's talk about some more cruise cancellations. Holland America Line has canceled all cruises through December the 15th, 2020 globally. It's a global cancellation, so no HAL anywhere they go, no North America, no Asia, no Panama Canal. All the places that HAL goes, they're not going to go there until at least December the 15th. Man, it's slipping away. Only 2 weeks left in the 2020 season with this HAL cancellation, but they're done. This is another Carnival Corporation cruise line. Now we got Princess canceled till December 15th and HAL canceled until December the 15th, 2020. In addition, another Carnival Corporation cruise line, P&O Cruises, making an announcement. P&O services primarily the UK. As you may remember, the FCO office in the UK just a few weeks ago issued a "Hey, don't go cruising" warning to all of their citizenry, and it was a blanket open warning with no end date in sight from a time perspective. P&O responding to this by canceling more cruises. In a recent statement, the president of P&O, Paul Ludlow, said that it is clear while guidance is in place, referencing the FCO guidance, is in place, it is not advisable to resume operations. They're canceling all their cruises up until November the 12th, and then in addition, they're grabbing 2 cruises in 2021, January 21, a couple big ones, Aurora's Caribbean and South America Adventure. These are big multi-stop cruises that take a lot of planning, that take a lot of authorization. P&O waiting for the FCO to say that it's okay for people in Great Britain, in the UK, to cruise again. I do have a Royal Caribbean update. They did just announce their Q2 earnings. The cool thing about these earnings calls is they tell you the financials, but they also tell you some information about the business. Of course, the financials were not good. They lost $1.3 billion in Q2, a huge amount of money for a business to lose. They went on to say they might sell some older ships, and they did announce the delay of newer ships coming into the fleet. Royal Caribbean was supposed to receive 5 ships by the end of 2021. Now they're only going to receive 3 ships by the end of 2021. And this is a Royal Caribbean Group announcement, so the ships that they're getting are Silver Sea ships, Royal Caribbean International ships. They're getting the Silver Moon in October. They're going to get the Odyssey of the Seas in early 2021. And then they're going to be getting the Silver Dawn in late 2021. If you notice, there is one ship not listed there that we've been anticipating, the next ship in the Oasis class, the Wonder of the Seas. The Wonder of the Seas delivery has been delayed indefinitely. Another interesting nugget that came out was that Michael Bailey, the CEO of Royal Caribbean International, said that it is very likely that testing will occur when cruising resumes. Now that's the statement. It doesn't say whether it's crew testing, whether it's passenger testing, what kind of testing, that kind of thing. But just to give you an idea that Royal Caribbean, as they resume their cruising, like many of the cruise lines, testing will be a component. So Royal Caribbean may test you before you get on a cruise, but at least they're not going to track you like some wild animal that they caught for a nature documentary, that they tagged you. They're not going to do that. But maybe one Caribbean island, and if I think about it, actually maybe one cruise line may be doing something like that. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But yeah, maybe one Caribbean island will be tracking you when you go there. I've got a couple updates from the big islands in the Caribbean. First, let's talk about the Bahamas. Back on July the 17th, they said, hey, look, our neighbors from the north, you're having a hard time, and we're not going to allow you in our country. No U.S. citizens allowed to visit the Bahamas as tourism ramped up, as tourism resumed. They opened up their borders. They allowed flights from other places. And guess what? They got a big old outbreak down there, and they're rethinking their whole tourism policy. As numbers began to spike in the Bahamas, they put some new health protocols in place, and now they will allow passengers from the United States. But everybody that's coming into the Bahamas, they have this stipulation. You must take a virus test 10 days before arriving in the Bahamas. Of course, that test must show that you are negative for the virus. And then once you get there, on your own dime, you have to go to a state-run facility. You have to pay for it, and you have to stay there for 14 days. And then at the end of the 14 days, you have to be tested again. And if you are tested negative, you can go on your Bahamian vacation. And while you're enjoying your vacation, there's also other things like the beaches are closed after 7 o'clock. There's the curfew, that kind of thing. So struggling to get open back up again, struggling to keep people safe. And now these are some pretty hardcore restrictions. I don't think I would do that. I don't think most people have enough vacation time to go and just ride it out for 14 days. But they are open for business. They will allow American travelers. Now, one island that is not open for business quite yet is Grand Cayman. Grand Cayman continues to work on their plan to open back up to tourism, and during that planning they've decided that they have to push the date for when they will allow tourism back to Grand Cayman. On August the 7th, the government of the Cayman Islands announced that they would be keeping their borders closed until October the 1st. Their main concern is the spread that they've watched around the world, particularly in the United States. They're going to be employing a phased approach to reopening for tourism. Unless anything changes starting October the 1st, they will allow foreign tourists into the Cayman Islands. Interestingly, though, they will not be allowing commercial flights. The only flights that will be allowed into the Cayman Islands are repatriation flights. To get to the Caymans, you may have to take a private charter. You may have to take a boat from somewhere else. You're not just going to be able to fly in. The idea is to slowly reintroduce tourism to the Cayman Islands. But this is where it gets interesting. If you want to be a tourist on the Cayman Islands, you have to submit to wearing a people tracker. The official name of the people tracker is the bio button. Here it is. This was developed by a company in the US called Biointelligence, and you stick this thing on your body, you have to wear it because they're going to be tracking you. They know if you're not wearing it, and you're going to be constantly sending data about yourself so that they can determine whether or not you are exhibiting symptoms for the virus. This thing's got it all. It's got an app on your phone. It's got these things called biohubs. You can stick a biohub in a hotel, and that way they can track your comings and goings. They'll know who you've been in contact with. They know everything that you're going to be doing in Grand Cayman. This is some next level people surveillance stuff right here. It's interesting. It's not a chip, right? Like everybody's afraid you're going to get chipped under the skin or something like this. This is something you voluntarily stick on yourself and wear it around so that you can be tracked on vacation. There is one cool aspect to it, though. If you're wearing the people tracker and you're in Grand Cayman, you could go to hell and you could literally... they could track you going to hell. That would be an interesting adventure. That could be a movie of the week. But look, the Cayman Islands aren't the only ones that are trying to do stuff with wearables. I forgot about this story from a couple days ago. MSC actually going to do the same thing. They're going to give you a wearable and they're going to use it for contact tracing. They're going to do all the big data stuff so that if something goes wrong with passenger A, they'll be able to contact trace everybody that they were in contact with for more than some period of time so that they could maybe alert that person. If passenger A comes up with the virus, now they can look at their data, beep, 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 and then all of a sudden they can tell you everybody that you've been in contact with. And you guys made fun of me for worrying about the robot bartenders. People tracking in the Cayman Islands, people tracking on cruise ships, and maybe coming to a vacation near you. Is this a deal breaker? Are you going to be tracked when you're drinking your pina colada on the beach? Crazy times in cruising. Kapow! I just hit you with the cruise news. Thank you so much for stopping by. You can do the same. Hit the like button, show support, subscribe to the channel. This is Tony for Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.